Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to the 2018 8th grade promotion ceremony. I'm Ken Moeller, principal of the Phoenix School of Discovery. I feel very lucky to be here. This is a very important day. Congratulations to all the achievements that these students have had. So you guys ready to move on? Or are you just going to stay? They maybe will stay in 8th grade. What do you think? Bigger and better things, or just kind of a little less and maybe sleep in more? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the train's moving forward. Especially if you're going to be moving along with us to the new building. The Phoenix School of Discovery, this is the last school day of Phoenix in this building. Next year in August, we will be moving to the Yeager Educational Center. In a little bit, I'll explain a little bit more, but it's in Linden, not too far away from Oxmoor Mall. But if you're going to be moving with us during the 2018-19 school year, the Phoenix High School, isn't that a scary thought? High school will be the most progressive high school I'm thinking not only in Jefferson County, but probably the most unusual school in the state of Kentucky. It's taken us a year to put all the moving parts together, and they are going to be walking into something that's very special and very unique. First thing is, every one of these kids down here, when they get to be 12th graders, will have a job. They will be walking into some kind of an occupation that they're going to learn. They're going to learn how to show up on time. They're going to learn how to make change. They're going to learn a lot of the things that a lot of times we forget to tell them because nobody ever thinks to tell them. And probably the best thing is I grew up in a farming community. As much as you probably think English, math, science, social studies, learning all that was the best thing for a principal, I'll be honest with you, Vale and Hay taught me a lot more about being a principal. Picking tomatoes or catching chickens or things like that were far more important. I think occupations, while they're not always the end, are an important part of an education. So every one of these guys will have a job by the time they're in 12th grade. And when you say they won't, you just watch. The second thing is everybody in here is only going to have to get 22 credits for graduation. And you go, wow, that sounds like a lot. Imagine a bar that is so low, and this is all of Jefferson County in the state of Kentucky. 22 times you have to get a D- is all that is required. That's a pretty low bar. There is a lot more than doing that. So here is my guarantee to you, when they walk out of here 5 years from now, I'm going to guarantee you they will be critical thinkers. I'm going to guarantee you they will be creative. I'm going to guarantee you they're going to be good citizens. They're going to be resilient. They're going to be good collaborators. And they're going to be good communicators. You know why? Because that's our job. And every one of those things are far more important than 22 credits of English, math, science, social studies, because you're going to use those the rest of life. So how do I know that? Number one is they're all going to have a job, and you're going to learn a lot of those things in that. But here's the second thing. Our curriculum doesn't always have to have where it's structured within those 4 content areas. And I am going to now recognize somebody in the 8th grade class. Now, I will warn you that principals have been taught in principal school. In ceremonies like this, it is a family, and we do everything together. We move together. We do everything. But I'm going to break the golden rule, and I am going to have it where I'm going to recognize one of the students. Because one of the things that we did different, and every year I teach one class. This year I happen to teach a class on leadership. It's Miss Roten's class, of which we had 8 kids in the classroom, of which we worked on leadership skills. And I'll bet you if I quiz them right now, if they remember all the rules, they probably do, of being a good leader. Guys remember 1 + 1 = 3, right? You got that one down? All right. Like, what kind of math are we teaching here? But they know the power of 2 people working together is better than the power of 1. So 1 + 1 = 3. So for months, we worked on it, but it's far more important. One student in particular, Aaron, has a brother who is an identical twin. Is he here today? Is he here? All right, so we're going to recognize him at the same time. He's all the way in the back. So I got involved with this because Miss Roten said we have to have a project where we raise some money for leukemia. So Aaron's twin brother, Adam, has leukemia. I'm not sure the diagnosis has been maybe 6 months ago, something like that. He was in the hospital at the time. So our leadership project was to raise $1,000. So we set up leadership skills. We did all the steps of the process. We did a plan. We executed the plan, and we raised $3,000, not just $1,000. only did we raise $3,000, but then we put in a competition. We became part of the Lead to Feed competition, of which about 4,000 schools compete to find the best project that is in the United States. They are schools from California to Washington to Maine to Florida, and we're competing with them, and we were recognized as one of the top 5 projects in the United States. On top of that, the Leukemia Foundation not only will, or Leukemia and Lymphoma Society will receive a check for $3,000 from us, they will now receive a check for $10,000 from the Novak family, which is the Live to Life family. And they will, on top of that, Phoenix will be receiving $2,000 in technology. So one more round of applause for that. So you start to think about it, it's like, I could sit here all day and talk about how they learn certain algebra things or certain things, but when you start to say critical thinking, creativity, resilience, good citizens, collaboration, communication, they learned it through this whole process. So, and what did I learn? I learned that you got to be careful when you're working with middle schoolers. So they recognized me, and I received the Big Picture Award for this year. And you can see this was my prize. The interesting thing is I don't know that I can go down the steps without falling down. But I don't know that I ever got a chance to thank you guys for giving me such the honor of receiving this award of the big picture. Because they say I'm always looking for the big picture. So thank you for that. Now, the reason why they gave that is they also learned one of the leadership skills that David Novak, and for those of you that follow Young Brand, he was the CEO of Young Brand up until 2 years ago. He now is a retiree for Young Brand. He used to be the CEO of Kentucky Fried Chicken at one point. And the highest honor of anybody at Kentucky Fried Chicken was to get the rubber chicken from David Novak. He would give you just what you think, one of those rubber chickens, and he would sign it, and he would hand it to you, and you would put it at the most prominent place. So believe me, that will be at my most prominent place in my office. But his big thing was you got to recognize people. So before I walk down and recognize Aaron, I want to read from you what Aaron is going to receive, which is typically given to high school graduates, which is a cord. But I thought it was far more appropriate for him here today. Here's what David Novak said. I hope you apply the Lead to Feed leadership lessons every day of your life and create ripples that will help you and those around you achieve all that you are capable of. Be a ripple maker and take people with you. At this time, I would like to recognize Aaron, so you come out here, and Adam, if you want to come up here, if you're allowed to, and the rest of you guys come this way. So I'm hoping Miss Cersei, who's sitting over here, isn't going to turn me into the principals union and say that you broke the rule of individually recognizing a student, but I think Aaron has certainly showed above and beyond anything. He has learned what our graduate profile and those skills that we're looking for in somebody that graduates from Phoenix. Certainly that, and all the guys back there, I'm not going to recognize you individually, but just understand that when you're an 8th grader, I will. So finally, next year, you're going to walk into a school that doesn't have bells. We are going to blow up the factory. The factory always says you have to have a bell because how are you going to know what time you're supposed to do things? You can do it on your own. You got a cell phone that tells you what time it is. So we're going to use some of the technology. You all have laptops. We're going to use some of your own personal self-directedness that is going to be a part of it. But next year, you're going to have to do it on your own, and you're going to have to figure out which room to go to. You're going to have to figure out what time to go. It's going to be a whole lot like college, but I know that this group is going to be great. When you say, I don't think it can happen, I'm going to tell you, all of you that had Levinson, Spillman and Ms. Belanger, you've already started the process. That online learning can lead you in a lot of directions where you can own it, and you will own it next year. So when we go to the new building, it's going to be a whole different world. So parents, hopefully you believe in your students, because they've got a lot of challenges ahead of you. It's not going to be the way it used to be in school, and thank God it's not. It's going to be an entirely different world. But stay tuned. So inside of your program that you received today, there is a white piece of paper. And what that white piece of paper is an invitation to our open house. Typically, open houses are just for the students that are new to the school, kind of orientation, stuff like that. Everybody's going to be new to the school. So if all 350 students show up at the same time, I don't know what we're going to do. So we have got an open house on August 9th. It will start at noon. It will end at 7. You can stay for 2 minutes. You can show up at 5. You can show up at 3 till 7. You can stay as long as you want. If you want, you can stay till midnight. I'll make somebody else stay. But you can stay as long as you want. And the real reason is I want them to be very comfortable. I want them to get in the new place, kick the tires and make sure that this is the right fit for them. But it's an old elementary building, and don't kick the tires too hard. It might like knock over a wall or something like that. But it's a great opportunity for everybody. So mark your calendars. 8th graders at 2:20 today, and this almost makes me cry, you're going to be 9th graders. Now here's the scary part. When they're 12th graders at graduation, which I will be crying, I will have finally reached my retirement age. So these guys are my markers. When they walk across the stage as seniors, I can stop the profession, but I can't imagine ever leaving the profession. I can imagine people kicking me out, but I can't imagine ever leaving the profession. Family and friends, thank you for supporting your soon-to-be graduates. I'm sure all of them will make many strides and many steps into this great journey ahead of them. Thank you to Ms. Newman, Mr. Heckman, for everything they've done for the celebration, getting these kids in line. If you'd have seen yesterday, it's always fun watching a bunch of 8th graders line up. If you know that thing about herding cats, I wish it was that good. But look at them today. They all look polished like they've been doing this their entire life. So congratulations, soon to be 9th graders. At this time, I would like to call Ms. Newman to the podium to introduce our guests.
Hello, we have a very special guest speaker to speak with our class today, Ms. Michelle Searcy. Michelle Searcy is the lead counselor for the Jefferson County Public Schools for all schools and mental health and counselors within the whole JCPS district. She is current president of the Kentucky Council for She is currently the president of the Kentucky Counseling Association and was previously named a Kentucky High School Counselor of the Year. She's a proud graduate of PRP High School. She received her undergraduate degree at Eastern Kentucky University, her master's in the University of Louisville, and she's currently completing her doctorate at the University of the Cumberlands. She has 4 amazing kids, 2 dogs, just 1 husband. I asked her to speak to you today because she loves students. She cares deeply about your future success, and furthermore, she cares as much about those of us in charge of taking care of kids. Ms. Searcy?
That made me sound a lot better than I am. I'm gonna walk around a little bit because this feels stiff. So I'm gonna come down here and talk to you guys for a moment. Thank you so much for inviting me to come and talk. I love getting out and speaking to kids and parents and getting to be a part of your special day. First off, congratulations on making it through middle school. You crushed it. You all look amazing, and I'm sure you're excited for the next phase and what's to come. Before we get started, I want to thank our parents for just a moment. I have, Ms. Newman said I have 4 kids, and I have 2 that are freshmen in college and 2 that are freshmen in middle school. I was where you were a year ago today, and that freshman year flies by. In raising our kids in today's society, it really takes a village. And I appreciate you guys letting us be a part of your village because it's a collaboration. And thank you for being here, supporting the school, supporting your students. So students, can you give your family and friends a round of applause? Being a parent is pretty hard work. You little suckers don't come with any type of instructions. And we make mistakes all the time, but we can't hit the back button. It just kind of sticks. And the next group of people that I want to thank before I get into talking to you guys is our faculty and staff, our teachers. This has been a difficult year on lots of different fronts, on a national level, on a state level, but being an educator is hard. It's probably the hardest job outside of being a parent. And you pour into kids and you give your heart and soul. And I want you to know how much I appreciate it. You are amazing. And if you could stand up, and if the students and the families could give a round of applause to you, our faculty and staff. Thank you, guys. I wrote notes out because I get paid to talk for a living, and I often don't stop talking. So I wrote notes so that you're not having to sit here too long. Today I want to spend some time with the 8th graders, and I want to take you back for just a second and ask you a question that you've probably been asked a million times in your life, but I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I am sure that you have been asked since you were little bitty, what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you been asked that a few times? What do you want to be when you were little? A doctor?
At first I wanted to be a cop, but now I'm not.
You used to want to be a cop, now it's up in the air. That's all right. What do you want to be? A what? A sports player? What do you want to be? Engineer. What do you want to be? A chef? Awesome. I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. Having career goals is amazing. It's awesome. We need to have those. We need to have goals in life that tell us, what we want to dream for, what type of career we want to have, what type of house we want to live in, what type of car we want to have. Those are all things you probably think about, right? What your life is going to look like. But I want you to think for a second about not what you want to be when you grow up, but who you want to be. Because who you want to be in life, the type of person that you want to be, is far more important than what you want to be in your life. And as a society, we spend a lot of time on that what and not about who. So I spent time for about 5 years as a high school counselor, so I'm going to give you some tips for high school.
Please excuse the interruption. At this time, all seniors need to report to the cafeteria. At this time, all seniors need to report to the cafeteria.
That will be in 4 years. I spent a lot of time with high school students, and I would always have them as seniors, and so I would always ask them for reflections about their high school experience. And I'm going to tell you some of the tips that they have taught me that will hopefully help you get to the path of who you want to be when you grow up. So the first one is define your own story. Don't let anybody tell you who you can and can't be, what you can and can't accomplish. Don't let people put limits on what you can do. When I look kind of polished now. I didn't always look this way. When I was in middle school, I was hell on wheels. Not to other students, but I just was mad at life. I grew up really poor. I got picked on a lot. I didn't look like the other kids. And so my way of dealing with that was to act out. I spent a lot of time in ASAP. Spent a lot of times doing things I shouldn't do. That kind of carried over to high school. Got pregnant young. People told me I wasn't gonna be able to do anything with my life, that this is where I was always gonna stay. Now that I had a kid, it quote unquote ruined me. Not that I recommend teenage pregnancy. I don't. But the point is that drove me to do more. Because people said I couldn't do something, I was determined that I was gonna show them that I can. And I bet in your life, somebody has told you that you can't accomplish something, or you've got that feeling that maybe you can't be a certain type of person. And I want to encourage you that you can. Write your own story. Don't let other people's negativity influence you. You may hear that a lot, but that you have the ultimate choice of who you become when you get older. The second point is stand up for the little guy. We're all going to be the little guy in life. There's always going to be situations where we're not the one that fits in, or that people are doing things to us or saying things to us. There's injustices all around in this world. But that doesn't mean you have to be a part of it. If you see something that you don't like, change it. If there's something going on in your school, in your society, work to change it. A lot of times as adults, we get stuck. I see it on social media all the time where adults just like to complain about stuff all the time. I do it too, but we get stuck in complaining and we don't do something about it. So if you don't like it, change it. You have the power to do that. The third point is choose your friends carefully. Your friends can either lift you up or they can tear you down. Make sure that your friends help you become the person that you want to be, and they don't drag you down to the person they want you to be. You want friends that are going to encourage you. So if your friends are not doing that, if they don't match who you want to be, you might need to look at trying to find different friends that will help you be a better person. Friends are extremely important. Be confident and believe in yourself. You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to be hard. You're gonna fall down, and I want you to get up. If you fall down 1,000 times, get up 1,001 times. Dust yourself off. Tell yourself that you can do it. Keep your dream in your mind of who you want to be and keep working for it. If your dreams don't scare you just a little bit, they're not big enough. You need to dream bigger because there's nothing that you can't do. And then the last one is to work hard. And then work even harder. And then even harder after that. You may at times doubt yourself, and you may say, okay, I'm tired. This is exhausting. I'm just gonna take a break. Don't take a break. Keep working. Anything worth having, you have to work for. It just doesn't come easy. So middle school has probably been rough for some of you. Maybe life circumstances weren't the best. Maybe schoolwork is hard for you. Maybe you've made some bad decisions. But high school is one of these few opportunities in life that you get to hit the reset button. You get to refresh your life. You get to start over. You have a clean slate. So you get to really think about who you want to be and then actually make that happen. If that means that you want to study more and you want to get better grades, talk with your teachers, find out how you can get some more help. Do some things over the summer. I know that's a nasty thing to say. Read some books. Get off the phone for a few seconds. Or maybe use your phone and get on an app that's going to help improve your skills a little bit. But keep moving forward and keep working hard. So I'm going to leave you with the same question that I started off with. Who do you want to be when you get older? What type of person do you want to be? I want to encourage you guys to keep dreaming, keep working hard, and to remember to never give up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cersei, for your thoughtful words. We're so pleased you took time out of your busy day to come spend some time with us. Okay, everyone, now we are going to present our awards and certificates to our wonderful 8th graders. Remember, it's a very special occasion. I know you're excited. We're gonna clap for the kids, of course. After I say their name, I will list any honors that they've earned. So kind of listen for that a little bit for me. And thank you very much. Row 1, please stand. Evan Nagel. Honor Roll, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, Certificate of Participation in Visual Arts. William Paragon. Honor Roll, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics, Outstanding Student in Science, Certificate of Appreciation in Visual Arts. Emily Roberts. Honor Roll, Outstanding Student in Language Arts, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Social Studies, and Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics. Giovanni Ecaclo. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Language Arts, Certificate of Achievement in Mathematics, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Social Studies. Caden Beasley. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Visual Arts. Jonathan Beatty, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics and in Visual Arts. Noah Bennett, Honor Roll, Certificate of Improvement in Science, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics. Katrina Berry, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics and Certificate of Participation in Science. Shani Boyd, Honor Roll, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, Certificate of Participation in Science. Jeremiah Brown, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts and Visual Arts. Amy Christian, Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, Certificate of Participation in Visual Arts. Daniel Colwell, Certificate of Improvement in Social Studies. Matthew Davidson, Certificate of Honor Roll, Appreciation in Science, and Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Dakota Davis, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Science.
Everybody just told me also $200 million. I got it. I want to rip this up right now.
Row 1, please sit.
I'm gonna die.
Row 2, please stand. Braden Donan. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Appreciation in Social Studies, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts. Anthony Frank. Honor Roll, Certificate of Participation in Social Studies, Certificate of Participation in Science, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics. Nashawn Harrison. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, and Certificate of Appreciation in Visual Arts. Raphael Hatton. Certificate of Improvement in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics. Aaron Hood.
In addition to bringing Lifona so much money and being a wonderful all-around kid, he got an honor roll certificate and a certificate of participation in science. Braden Irvin. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, and Certificate of Achievement in Science. Bryce Jackson. Bryce Jackson made the honor roll. Cameron Jenkins. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Language Arts. Carrie Lake. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Mathematics. Alex Logden. Certificate of Participation in Visual Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics. Amos Luckett. Honor Roll, Outstanding Student in Science, Certificate of Appreciation in Social Studies, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics. Caleb Lyon. Brecken McGarr. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Social Studies, Certificate of Participation in Science. Cambria Milner. Honor Roll, Certificate of Participation in Science, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics. Row 2, please be seated. Row 3, please stand. Garrison Moody. Certificate of Improvement in Language Arts. Landon Moody. Certificate of Improvement in Social Studies, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics. Skylar Morris. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics, Certificate of Achievement in Science. Dustin Morrison. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, Outstanding Student in Music. Isabella Nichols. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Laura Reed. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Science, Certificate of Improvement in Social Studies. Dion Roberts. Honor Roll, Outstanding Student in Mathematics, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Music. Alana Roderick. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics, Certificate of Participation in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Verinder Russian. Certificate of Improvement in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, Certificate of Appreciation in Social Studies. Jaden Sims. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics, Certificate of Improvement in Science. Elliot Solon. Honor Roll, Outstanding Student in Mathematics, Certificate of Achievement in Language Arts, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Music. Evan Stegner. Honor Roll, Certificate of Participation in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Social Studies, Certificate of Improvement in Science. Jayla Tate. Honor Roll, Certificate of Appreciation in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Mathematics, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Emily Thomas. Certificate of Improvement in Mathematics. Jaden Trammell. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Science, Certificate of Appreciation in Social Studies. Row 3, please be seated. Row 4, please stand. Michaela Trice. Honor Roll, Certificate of Participation in Mathematics, Certificate of Improvement in Science, Certificate of Improvement in Visual Arts. Lucas Verneman. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Mathematics, Certificate of Improvement in Language Arts, Certificate of Improvement in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Taylor Walker. Certificate of Improvement in Language Arts. Logan Yao. Honor Roll, Certificate of Achievement in Language Arts, Certificate of Appreciation in Science, Certificate of Achievement in Visual Arts. Row 4, please be seated. We are very proud of this group of young adults. Thank you so much for attending our ceremony today. Congratulations, class of 2022!